Thanks to the supporters of channel member Jack Watson. And a big thank you to today's episode sponsor, Pouch. Pouch is a free desktop browser extension that automatically finds and applies the best discount codes for you while you're shopping online. For example, I was shopping on the Adidas website for stuff I can wear in the gym without looking like a tryhard when I stumbled across this awesome Lego Adidas training jersey. And then when I got to the checkout, Pouch automatically popped up, found me a code, applied it, and saved £7.60. Pouch works on over 3,000 UK websites, including CD Keys, Foot Locker, and even a little bit of B&Q for the dads. And Pouch have just launched Pouch Points, which means even if there's no live codes available while you're doing your shopping, you can still earn points from participating retailers, which you can then redeem in the future against gift cards. Pouch only takes a couple of clicks to install, and make sure you pin it to your browser. And best of all, you can get Pouch for free right now by clicking on the link at the top of the description below. You've really got no excuses on this one, boys and girls. It's going to save you money. It costs you nothing to do. It's super easy, super quick. Get on it. It's literally right down there now. You can do it in the time it takes for the video intro to play. Hello and welcome to Club 4, part 30 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we have a really big. I know I often say they're big. A really big Premier League game away against Manchester United. Next season's Champions League qualification potentially at stake, although it is still early-ish in the season. We also, talking of the Champions League, have drawn Bayern Munich in the first knockout round and face them in the first leg, the home leg of our first knockout round tie. That's a Bayern Munich team who've just been winning the Bundesliga forever at this point. They're fairly dominant, 14 points clear at the top of Bundesliga. I don't think we have much chance of making it to the quarterfinal this year. And looking at the way our form has been going, getting into the group stages next year might be a little bit of a challenge too. We've managed to get ourselves knocked out of the FA Cup. Form has been iffy in the league, although we have had a very important win against Liverpool in our most recent match. But really only beating little clubs. Struggled against Villa, lost against Chelsea, lost against Brighton, and the league table looks like this. 25 games played. We're 1 point behind Manchester United. We're down in 5th place, and obviously going to United today, if they beat us, that 1 point gap becomes a 4 point gap. There's a chance Liverpool could leapfrog over us as well. They're at home against Southampton, and all of a sudden, Champions League is looking like a difficult thing to achieve. Of course, a win against Manchester United here today, and we're not only back in the Champions League qualification spots, but potentially inserting ourselves back into a title race. Although with us being 7 points behind Arsenal at this point, it's looking more challenging. Although we do have a game in hand. This match is crucial. If we want a better season this year than last year, I think we have to go to Manchester United now and pick up a win. I just don't know. I don't know if we've got it in us. Transfer-wise, obviously we had the transfer window just happen. Very little going on. I warned you there wouldn't be very much going on. We've let one of our youth players gone out on loan. He's gone out to Rochdale for the rest of the season, and we balanced that out by bringing another loanee in, Christian Frankie on loan from Bayern Munich, so I won't be able to play against them. Hughes, the guy we had on loan from Tottenham, was recalled because we weren't using him. This is just the next guy who's going to be brought in and not used. And comment section rejoice, because the guy you've been telling me to use all season long is finally in the squad. Alejandro Salinas, who we brought in a couple of years ago now. I actually sent him out on loan for the first half of the season. He was out on loan at Stoke, where he's played 31 games in the Championship. That must be a very, very front-loaded season to have got through 31 games by January. But we have now recalled him. He is a part of the first team squad. He isn't going to be a homegrown player, either at club or... Oh, actually, he is homegrown in England. Well, what that's telling me then is if we hadn't have loaned him out 3 times, he would have been homegrown at club, or 4 times. Although, to be fair, he wouldn't have developed either if we'd have done that. So he's in and around the squad now. I think in fact, I don't think I signed him. This was the guy who was here when I first arrived, wasn't he? And we said we had a really good young player. That was this guy. he's now back in the first team squad. Well, there you go. And homegrown at England, which does help for Champions League. That's hard to say. Probably won't need to say it next year, but it is handy for Champions League registration. Frustratingly as well, in midfield, we've got injuries to Etienne Tippel, who's out for 3 months now with a broken ankle, which really doesn't help. And the guy you would think would be in to replace him, Griffin Diaz, is now out with a virus. So he's also, I mean, this was a big opportunity for Griffin Diaz, and he's handed that opportunity to a Janusek Zamorano central midfield partnership. And if we beat Manchester United and Bayern Munich while he's at home sick, when he comes back, don't expect him to be straight back in the team, because this then becomes our new midfield, and Tippel has to fight to get back into it when he's ready. So this is the team for Manchester United. Must win, remember. Hoyenhal in goal. A back four of, I'm told it's Aaron not Uga. This shows how far ahead I'm recording my videos at the moment. This is the first video I've recorded since he signed for us. Apparently it's Aaron So I'm just going to say from now on, or I'll just say Aaron, I think. Aaron at left back, Caesar, and then Mura at centre back. Mura, I got a lot of stick for bringing Mura in as a backup. He was never going to be a backup. He was one of 4 or 5 rotational defenders. Mura's great. I don't understand why he got stick. So Caesar and Mura, and then Fernandez at right back, Navarro at the base of the midfield, Zamorano and Janusek ahead of him, and then Schultz in behind Abraham and Pedro Luis. Let's get on with it. Enough faffing about. We've got to beat Manchester United. And fingers crossed we do, because I'm kind of used to this Champions League lark now. Pedro Luis has graduated to being an elite striker on his media description. I don't think he's going to stick around for Thursday night football. So thinking in terms of long-term development of Norwich, if this is going to be the club that we ultimately end up winning the Champions League with, this becomes our forever club. In order to do that, realistically, we need to keep Pedro Luis around. And in order to keep Pedro Luis around, we need to stay in the Champions League, because I can't imagine him sticking around at the club if we're finishing 5th or 6th and having to play in the Europa League or worse next season. Michele has just ruined us down that left-hand side. How much would I like to have him back at the club? Quite a lot of amount is the amount that I'd like to have Michele back at the club, but I think that ship has long since sailed. If we were going to get him, we would have had to have got him on his optional future fee that we had when he was here on loan. I think now he'd cost us roughly £1 gazillion to bring in. Schultz playing it forward to Abraham, and now Zamorano to Janusek. This is some nice little one-touch football in midfield. Tammy Abraham is in, and unfortunately, the save pushes it wide. That was a good opportunity for us fairly early on in this game, though. Schultz to take the corner, and I think that was Abraham again. And for some reason, United have left nobody on the edge of this area, letting Zamorano tee up a shot, which unfortunately is blocked and has led to a Manchester United counter-attack. But look at that from Schultz. He took the corner and ended up being the man coming back with the covering tackle as well. Aaron down the left-hand side, playing infield to Janusek, and then he's got it back again, trying to show that we don't need Michele. I mean, he's not done too badly, to be fair. Cross comes in, Pedro Luis, shot is blocked, and now United looking to counter again, but they were never going to counter with that kind of vague, I'm going to call it a vague clearance. I don't think it means anything, but that is Tammy Abraham at his absolute best. How are you even looking at that for an offside referee? Tammy's not offside, and he's headed it backwards. So I don't see how this could possibly be offside. I don't think it is going to be given as offside. It's just great work from Tammy Abraham, nodding it back across goal. That's what we get for having him in the team. Anyone who's been around for a while knows I'm very anti-target man. I don't like target man football. We've got a brilliant target man there. I still refuse to play him as one, but it is a handy extra dimension to the game when, rather than just relying on knocking the ball over the top for fast players to chase, which is usually my only route to goal, it is nice to know we can lump the ball forward or whip in or float in a deep cross to the far post, and Tammy Abraham will do the rest with his strength and height and power. And what a goal from Colin Schultz to make it 2-0. I can't believe we picked this guy up for less than £20 million. Hoyenhal's probably going to have something to say about it, but he could go down as one of the bargains of the save at less than £20 million. What we could have built at Schalke if I'd have been allowed to stay and build a team around him there as a homegrown player. I don't know how they managed to get relegated with him in the team somehow they managed it. And that's how we managed to get him at bargain price before the rest of Europe even knew he existed. What a man he is. 2-0 up now against Manchester United. And this is exactly what the doctor ordered for today. As you can see, it puts us back into that top 4. I was going to say only 5 points off the top, but Arsenal have just gone ahead in their game. I think we must still have a game in hand on Arsenal if they're playing and scoring goals tonight, though. So I'm not too worried about that at the moment. We're not realistically trying to win the league this year. We're just trying to consistently stay in Europe. Winning the league feels like something we do much further down the line. Pedro Luis would probably argue we could get on and do it now because he's one of the best players in the world. And he's just added his 23rd goal of the season. It's a race against time. Can we win the league before he gets bored of not winning the league and decides to go and play for any other club in the world where he could start and be a superstar? Because he's too good for us. And I just hope he doesn't realise it. Thankfully, I don't think he watches these videos. United started things off again with a throw from this left-hand side. And we've just got to not mess up from here. 3-0 up with less than half an hour to go. It's going to take a little bit of self-destruction to let Manchester United back into the game at this point. So fingers crossed, that's not going to happen. Dare I look ahead to the game with Bayern Munich and rest some tired legs? It's a big risk because I would probably argue that this Manchester United game is more important than the Bayern Munich game because it's more important to get in next season's Champions League than stay in this one. It's not like we're going to win the thing. We are a little bit light on central midfielders. Gilberto Carlos has played as the Mazzala quite a lot this season, so he can come on and do it again for today. It just shows how much of a missed opportunity this is for Griffin Diaz at the moment. I mean, I don't want to sound like a nightmare boss, but if you'd have just avoided getting sick, look at the opportunity you would have got, Griffin. This is your own fault. You got sick at the wrong time. Have you got a doctor's note? You've got 2 weeks off with a virus. It all seems very coincidental that you get a virus just as there's an opportunity for you to start regularly. I think I'm going to need a doctor's note from him. I said I didn't want to be a nightmare boss. Forget it. I want the doctor's note. Right, Hoyenhal collects comfortably from the Manchester United corner. We've still got one more substitution to make. I think we will take off Tammy Abraham. And I think in the circumstances, we can bring Gaza on. I'm actually starting to use him a little bit more in this support striker role. He's kind of developing into being able to use that. And he's not quite as quick as Pedro Luis, so I don't really want him as the guy furthest forward of the two. I want to use Pedro Luis's ridiculous pace. And I think long term, we have to be looking for a Gaza-Luis strike partnership because Casolari is not going to be the man long term, regardless of how many times he scores 4 goals in a game against a mid-table side. He's been here so long now and never established himself that I just don't think he'll always feel like a consolation prize. He's no Alvarez. He's no Abraham. He'll never feel like he's in there because he's the best option we've got. He'll always feel like he's there because everyone else has left. So I think Gaza has to be the one that we look to build the partnership with Pedro Luis with long term. And if it's going to work long term, it's going to have to work this way round because we're not going to play Pedro Luis as a support striker for the rest of his career. So Gaza needs experience playing deeper, and that's what he's going to get today. We're trying out a young player against Manchester United. What have we become? Paviot on the right-hand side, plays it into Pedro Luis, cuts back for Schultz. It's a phenomenal save from the Manchester United goalkeeper, and it remains 3-0. But what a save that was. And I'm a little bit flabbergasted about how he's kept that out. Now Moore is injured. Gilberto Carlos has also picked up an injury. This is not ideal going into the Manchester United, not the Manchester United game, the Bayern Munich game, to start picking up a few injuries, especially to key players. I said would I have been mad to save players. I saved some players anyway. And then different ones got injured. Oh, goody. I love injuries. It's been such a fun season for injuries. That was the important game for today done. Whatever happens now against Bayern Munich happens, and I am at peace with it. Although I would really like to win, so if we could do that, that would be super. Well, as if that wasn't already bad enough, we've now picked up an injury to Hoyenhal as well. He's going to be out for a couple of days. with a tight calf. I mean, I guess I could risk him and play him. It seems madness too, really, when maybe not so much these days, but certainly when I first signed them both for Schalke, Lovric and Hoyenhal, I mean, even now, there's still not much between them. Hoyenhal's obviously got the edge in most areas, but Lovric, it's not like we're playing a completely untried nobody. He has played not a lot of football in the last 3 years. He played half a season in the Bundesliga after we took Hoyenhal off Schalke way back. He's just going to have to start and hopefully not be rubbish. Noel can come in to replace the injured Mura, who's going to be out for the next 3 weeks or so. Fernandez is suspended for this game as well, which is not ideal. So Paviot's going to come in at right back. But luckily, we do have that little bit of extra strength in depth now. So on the bench, we've got Romero and Salinas. At least we've not got to go with no defenders. But we are getting back down to bare bones again. The small squad is starting to sting a little once more. Let's get into the game and hope that we don't get absolutely battered. Oh, dear me. We are not as good as Bayern Munich. That's for sure. And we've not even got our superhero. Oh, good. They've got Erling Haaland up front. Oh, well, that's even... in that case, I'm really glad we've got 5 players in the defence who've never played together before. That's just swell. Lovric made a save. Maybe this is going to be a hero-making moment for Lovric, who's been part of the series for 4 or 5 seasons now. He's been a part of my squad for as long as almost anybody. I mean, he's been involved in nearly half the save at this point, and you've barely seen him. But he's spent more time with us than anyone at Leamington did, anyone at Peterborough did. He's up there with the likes of probably Hoyenhal. I mean, Schultz had time away. He doesn't count. It's really Lovric and Hoyenhal who've been a part of the save for the last 5 seasons out of 11. He's going to be a hero. That was a nice, quiet first half. We had 1 shot and missed. Oh, God. Can we recall the spirit of the Norwich team who beat Bayern Munich way back in the day? Lovric is beaten that time. Offside referee? He's got his finger in his ear. Hopefully it's going to be given as offside. I mean, even if we manage to keep this 0-0, there's no chance we're going to their place and finding a goal, because we're not even managing to get a shot away at our own ground. Luckily, that has been disallowed. Part of me wonders if we should maybe be going a little bit more attacking, but as soon as we do, they're just going to finish us off. They've got Erling Haaland up front. Did I mention that before? They're toying with us. They're just picking their moment when they're going to go and grab a goal. Haaland hits the post. Caesar actually dealt with him quite well there. Put him off to the point where he did. His header did go into the post, and it is still 0-0. 30 minutes to go in the game. Bayern Munich continuing to attack. Is that Alphonso Davies still playing for them? He must be an old man now as well, and must have got some appearances under his belt also. And he's trying to... Oh, God. Cross comes in. Lovric makes the save again. And another save. He's a wonderful double save from Lovric. I told you he's good. He's the best player on the pitch at the moment. He's giving us a 7.2. All this time, we've had 2 wonder keepers, apparently. This is excellent stuff. Bayern Munich attacking again, but the highlight just peters out. And Aaron is tiring. We're going to leave him on. There's not a chance we're going to take off our only left back with 20 minutes to go when we're defending so valiantly, although he is tiring. Right. Oh, there's so many players on yellow cards who are also tiring. I feel like we need to offer something different up front, though. So we're going to bring on Gaza, and we're going to bring on... It'll be madness to bring on Yedro. We'll bring on Haruna in midfield just for some different energy in there. And then I don't think we can bring on Romero or Salinas in this situation. I think we just have to... I mean, I don't think I've ever played Salinas. This is not the time for him to come on, is it? But those Caesar and Aaron are both getting very, very tired. I mean, the decision might be taken out of my hands before the end of the game. I think we're just going to stay at 2 subs. And, oh, we can't. Schultz is shattered as well. Now Janicek's shattered. We've got Yedro. I mean, it's another roll of a dice for a young player. No Gilberto, of course, because he got injured in the previous game. 10 minutes. Haruna, a rare appearance for him in midfield. To Knoll and Haruna again, just knocking it back and forth between him, and it's all the way back to Lovric. Oh, no. I mean, Lovric made a huge mistake and then saved himself. Clearly, he's a shot stopper, but can't see red, can't see Erling Haaland. But he is an excellent shot stopper, as he's shown today. Now showing us an 8. If we can grab a late goal here, that puts us in a stronger position than I ever could have hoped for. And Lovric is the hero of the day, which I did not expect to be saying when I started recording this episode. It's probably a last attack of the game for Bayern Munich as they swarm forward on that right-hand side. Paviot heads it clear, but there's no yellow shirt there to take some of the pressure off. And Bayern come down this left-hand side again. Cross comes in. It's headed clear by Knoll. And now Gaza has got Pedro Luis ahead of him if he could only find him, but couldn't get past the Bayern defender. And they're in again here. We need another heroic moment from Lovric, and we get one. What a match that man is having in goal for us. It's his first game this season. I don't think I've played him in any of the cup competitions. He's just turned up against Bayern Munich and looks like a superstar. Paviot now to Knoll, across to Caesar. Everyone who criticised me for signing Lovric 3 years ago, take it back now. Pedro Luis is in, and we've got the goal. Don't you dare disallow this referee. He's coming over to the little telly. I think he's not. He's just getting out of everyone's way. He's got his finger in his ear. This happens all the time, ref. He's always onside. Of course he's onside. 89 minutes on the clock and completely against the run of play. It's Norwich 1, Bayern Munich 0. Lovric is the hero of the night. And that is, I mean, Norwich do all right in Europe against Bayern, don't they? What a performance that was from Lovric in goal. I want to get back in and just check those match stats, because we had no right at all to come away from that with a result. We had 3 shots, 2 on target, an XG of 0.62. But because we've got one of the best strikers in the world, that's all you need to grab a goal. We only managed 40% possession. Bayern Munich were absolutely all over us. But Lovric weighing in with a 9.1 man of the match performance. And we have got it all to play for in the second leg, which will be coming up in tomorrow's episode. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Don't forget to download Pouch for free. The link is at the top of the description below, and it really does help support the channel. Subscribe to the channel as well to make sure you don't miss out on future videos. And thank you very much for watching.